babe.
You can't see me? What, in the Skype?
No, it's just your avatar. No.
I see me. Let me just... Right, so I just started broadcasting and just immediately into technical problems that I thought were solved. So let me just refresh that. Can you see me now?
No.
No.
You can't?
Nope.
Avatar again.
Can't see anything.
Okay, well, I'm broadcasting it, so fuck it, that'll do. Had enough of the technical problems already. You'll just have to accept the fact that you're not going to be able to look at my beautiful face for this session. But people on the stream will. All, none of them. So, before we begin this RPG session, I have to preface this. With the current political climate the way it is, my players asked if they could, as part of an RPG fantasy, that's a role-playing game fantasy, blow some shit up in America to make themselves feel better about what's currently going on in the world. We then decided what corporation to play, and we decided we wouldn't take one of the big five, we'll go for one of the minor ones. So I got out the corporation book Cities of Gold, which is the Eurasian Incorporated source book, and we were flicking through looking at the little adverts, and they saw this one, Dashwoods. That looks appealing. It's tea. They are working for a tea corporation in America. Needless to say, I figure, fuck it, we're 3/4 of the way there, let's just do it in Boston. Never been to Boston, so I'm going to make it up. It's a sci-fi version, it's all fine. So, prepare yourselves for the most racist RPG ever. If you're American and watching this, really sorry. Not my fault, the players did this. Okay. Let's open up
with
then.
extreme prodding from the GM.
What? It was more sighs of resignation when I could see where this was going. Right. Okay. In a dimly lit, wood-panelled office, a number of figures sit chained to chairs. A large carton of something with a dark brown liquid is connected intravenously to each of those people. At the other end of the office, stood silhouetted against a window, is a woman that looks like a very bad reenactment of Elizabeth I, with more makeup. So, you won't answer my questions? Perhaps with some pudding from my special coffee, you'll speak. Cast your minds back to the day you arrived. And the scene closes. You three agents are members of the Dashwoods Export Division. And we're going to take this scene, not at the normal beginning with the Corporation RPG, you normally start off with a mission briefing. We'll come back to that later. Now I want to start this on the way there. You have been given a lorry, a very old, rickety lorry, a bit like a Luton van, the kind you'd get from a rental place. It's been treated as badly in its long service life. In the back is several crates of tea. The sign writing on the side says apostrophe Ashwoods. It did say Dashwoods, the D has worn off long ago. And one of you is driving. Which one would that be?
Not me.
I don't know what sort of driving school. I've got no driving school, so it better not be me.
I've got a small amount of skill, but Xerxes does tend to use the metro.
As the only person who knows how to drive a van, it's Xerxes in the driver's seat. The gear changes are not subtle. There are 3 seats in the front of this van in true Luton style. So who's in the middle seat?
Oh, I don't know. I don't want to be in the middle seat.
I will take the middle seat.
It's bad enough being in this common van.
And sorry, I didn't want to speak over you.
Making small notes as we travel along.
So it's Augustus who is in the passenger seat. You are travelling across the Atlantic Bridge. This is an 18-lane each-way motorway. In the centre is a Hyperloop system, and on the outside 2 lanes are where all the service vehicles and rest stops are. This bridge crosses from Ireland directly to, conveniently for our sakes, Boston. If the adventure had been set somewhere else, it would have connected there. You are driving along when Augustus, out of the corner of his eye, sees movement that just catches his eye sufficiently for him to turn his head. When he sees alongside the van is somebody in another lorry, a bigger, much newer, brasher and shinier lorry with fancy light arrays, and they're wearing a cap with the logo emblazoned across the front for Costa Coffee. He's giving you the gang sign for a race.
Oh dear, look at that! Quick, you better put your foot down.
Yes, so, yes, sir. Do attempt to find 4th gear. It's not particularly. It's not because I want you to go faster. It's simply the gear stick will be far more comfortable with me if it's in 4th. Right now, it's rather chafing my leg.
Yeah, I'm assuming that this guy is undertaking this then.
Yes, and he's giving you the sign for a race.
Oh, typical oik.
Okay. In that case, I, again, very unsubtly kind of jerk the gear stick away, saying, well, it's not my fault your thighs are big. Alright, mate, I'll give you a race. Bloody brash lorry with its gear stick cartridges. Why the fuck hasn't this got any cartridges? And I slam the accelerator on.
You hit the accelerator full on. You can see, probably 500 yards up the road is a rather slow-moving vehicle. It's kind of an old-fashioned style of estate car, the kind with wood panelling down the sides and luggage on the roof. It's in your lane. The lorry next to you revs its engine, toots its 18 air horns, fires up its lights display and floors it, and you are neck and neck as the lorries slowly accelerate further, getting louder and louder and louder. The other lorry next to you is going up the gears feverishly because it has 40 odd, whereas you have 4.
Okay.
Which gear are you in now?
I'm in 4th.
Oh.
Tell me.
4th is the best gear.
I do have a small possibility. Could you perhaps move into the same lane as our esteemed racing opponents?
I'm working on it, old man.
Just
Well, I
thought it
think we
would
need
be.
to be further in front before we do that.
No. I'm thinking we should do them a good rogering with our guns. I think those wonderful, rather loud and brash engines should feel the full weight of our bullets.
Well, if you believe that it has one extra tire than it needs, I could probably sort something out for you.
I think it probably has one extra exhaust than it needs.
Do we honestly need to shoot at them? Is that really necessary?
No. Necessary, no. Bloody
good.
good
Just
fun, though.
But
Just checking.
These oiks are gonna overtake us, and With Dashwoods.
I suppose you could try shooting in the tyres. That cause a bit of mayhem. And then what I'm going to try and do is sort of career right in order to nip in just in front of them.
At the moment, you are absolutely level pegging, though. And so you've not managed to get in front at all. It's like it's keeping pace with you almost deliberately.
Yeah. Slow down, dear boy. Slow down. Let's do a very fast slow down and get in behind them, and we'll give them a damn fine rogering.
Yeah. So I send the brake on instead and try and nip in behind.
Okay. So as you start to decelerate, the Costa lorry also starts to decelerate, and you realise that you're actually gaining quite rapidly now on this vehicle in front, this slow-moving old estate car with the luggage on the roof.
Well, what do you know?
Go faster again.
Let's nip in front of the little blighters.
As you carry on.
Is there any gap in terms of lanes at the moment, either left or right?
Now, I was about to mention this. There are many, many lanes to your right, but immediately on your next lane to the right, coming up alongside you as you slow down, is another lorry, and it says Starbucks on the side.
Ooh, I have an interesting wheeze.
So, am I able to nip in front of the Starbucks lorry?
You could. Its front is overlapping your back. You could give it a, force him to brake or manoeuvre.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. As you change lanes, the Starbucks lorry actually just turns into you, and you end up going sideways, being pushed down the road by this big juggernaut of a lorry. Could you make a drive roll, please?
With
be
what?
Reflexes plus drive.
Okay.
I say, that's a bit much.
Oh, I passed with 5 excess.
Awesome. So, yes, you're initially being pushed along, and the lorry, it's almost like it's going to start tipping, but you manage to, as it embeds back into the road, you manage to bring it around, and as you do so, the lorry snaps forward into the correct direction. You do now have an extra dent on the side. The Starbucks lorry, meanwhile, swerves lane a little bit, and whilst it recovers its control, it smashes into a Cafe Nero lorry. You are aware that there is screeching and horns behind. Meanwhile, the Costa lorry toots its air horns again, drops it down 3 or 4 of its many gears, and revs it some.
Where the hell are all these coffee lorries coming from?
You obviously don't like the competition, dear.
But we're tea! It's nothing like... Well, this isn't even coffee, it's disgusting, milky shit.
Disclaimer, other kinds of milky shit are available.
So are you going to shoot any of these lorries then, or what?
Oh, yes.
And
yes.
stop picking them off?
Oh,
So I can get a bit
Yes,
of
we're
room?
going. Yes, of course we're going.
Today.
Yep,
I'm getting a bit of personal space issues.
You do indeed
Does
have
the,
to wind the window down in this old rickety thing. To your left is still this Costa juggernaut of a lorry. The other 2 lorries involved have ended up, horns blazing and tangled in a mess behind you on the road.
Becky, does this cab, old-fashioned cab that it is, does it have a sunroof?
No.
Ah, bugger.
Imagine tell you what, I'll give you one because I want to see what you're going to do with it.
Yep, I'm opening it,
Okay.
and I'm going to stand up and I'm going to shoot from a nice elevated position from out of the sunroof. I'm going to be fully fully standing, and I'm not going for the obvious double entendre. I'm just going to stand there and I'm going to shoot.
At what exactly?
What truck are we getting nudged by at the moment?
Well, the Costa lorry hasn't hit you. The one that nudged you was the Starbucks lorry that's ended up in a pile-up with a Cafe Nero lorry. That's
fine.
back down the way.
Okay. Costa's behind us, in front of us?
To the left side.
To the left side. I'm going to shoot at a tyre.
Okay, you sort of have to lean up and forward a little bit to get your angle on it. And whilst you're taking that shot, do either of the other two have a statement of intent for this same manoeuvre?
Yes, once I've got this window down, because it's jammed part way and I'm just fighting the window a little bit, I'm going to lean out and shoot at the tyre as well.
Okay. I presume you're using just handguns for this?
Yeah, I've got my
okay.
Black Cougar.
Alright, so that has a rate of 3, so make your 3 attacks.
Right, so what is it? It's perception plus
it'll be
light eye firearms.
Yeah. Yeah, perception plus light
It'll be in your attack number on the weapons table.
So I've rolled 11 in total.
Yeah, you've got 3 attack rolls to make, so just tell me how many hits you do. I'm not going to put any penalties or modifiers on it.
Right, so what's the target number?
Under your skill. Or your skill or less. So whatever your combined total is, or less.
Right. Okay, so that was succeeded by 2. That succeeded by 1 because I rolled a 12. And that didn't succeed at all because I rolled 13. Oh, actually, that was spot on because it's 13.
Okay, so you got 3 hits, and Phil?
I'm sorry. What is it? The skills I'm using? Firearms and
The light firearms plus perception.
Yeah, perception, light firearms. Add the 2 together, and then roll 2d10. Each time you'll do it 2d10 3 times because it's a rate of 3 gun.
2d10 3 times. Okay. And I'm going to. What is my? Well, 10.
Ooh,
That's 10.
what's static on the line?
That is. Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely you, Phil.
Better?
Yes.
Yes.
But the first one was a 10, so I was aiming for 10. That's a hit. That is 13, so that's a miss. And that is an 8, which is a hit.
Okay, so Ronnie opens up with his pistol and puts 3 shots into, across 2 tyres. Phil, you put 2 shots into a tyre, but the 3rd shot has to go somewhere, and in this case, it hits the cab door. The driver slumps down over his wheel, landing on his 18 air horns. The Costa lorry is now careering along this motorway with the driver head planted into his air horns. The racket is immense. Meanwhile, this doddery old couple in front of you in their estate car and the luggage on the roof has just changed lanes to let you through.
Fantastic.
But the Costa lorry is careering or going to career into it.
Okay. In that case, how are they sort of moving, sort of left or right? As in, would I, from my left side, have a good vantage point to shoot from there?
To shoot at what, sorry?
As in, shoot at the Costa lorry.
Okay, so the Costa lorry is to the left. You've got Ronnie immediately there, stood up, and Phil by the window.
Cool. Because I was going to say, because obviously it's the driver, I'd be on the left side. Unless it's in English.
Of course
lorry.
It'll be in English. It'd be a British car.
There's a loot in it, so yeah.
Oh, it is a British car. I've been thinking of it as, okay.
Yeah.
Alright, in that case, with my superior handgun skill, I am going to lean out of the window and try and shoot a couple more tyres of the vehicle in order to prevent it from careering into this adorable elderly couple.
So you're going to shoot past Ronnie and Phil, just to be clear?
Ooh.
Or are you leaning out the driver's window?
No.
I'll
lean out the driver window. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. There may be loss of control of the lorry whilst attempting a manoeuvre like that, though, just so you're clear.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's cool.
What are the rest of you doing whilst your driver leaves the controls?
I'm trying to keep my suit off the door, trying to get it dirty.
I am going to, having seen this nice couple, they're manoeuvring to the left, yes?
So yeah, they
get out of our way.
They manoeuvred to the left to get out of your way.
Yeah.
Not realising that the Costa lorry,
I'm going to shoot near their right-hand side.
Okay.
Not into the car, but near the right-hand side. What I'm hoping is that they'll see the bullets and move further left.
They can't. They're in the leftmost lane.
Then they can go off the bridge. At least they won't be hit by the truck. I'm thinking of them. Drowning is far more humane than being crushed by an 18-wheeler.
Well, just think of it this
I
way.
watched.
If they do get hit by the Costa truck, that's more bad advertising for them, which is better for us.
So I've done my rolls.
Okay.
Basically, all 3 of them hit, and one of them was a crit.
You make an excellent point, sir.
Fantastic. Well, now you've done those, let's just see how good at multitasking you are. Let's have a reflexes plus drive at -8.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
That would have helped with the critical, but yeah.
Oh, the critical's going to count, yes.
Oh, no, I know. Reflexes plus drive, yeah, so... okay. No, that's a fail by 2. 2
Okay. So, this is what happens then. Ronnie, you put some shots in the road up ahead, causing the older couple to panic and brake, with the Costa lorry bearing down upon them. Jason, you lean out the driver's window over in front of your windscreen and you shoot 2 tyres bang on, and the 3rd shot hits the fuel tank that's between them. The Costa lorry ramps over the old people's car and explodes. The force of the explosion sending your lorry all over the place, and this is where your lack of driving just catches you out a bit because it's quite a tumble, and you end up facing the wrong way in lane 8 with a sports car bearing down on you. The sports car ramps up over the front of your lorry, and it is seen again. The drivers do not survive. Sometime later, you recover your lorry, drive off down the road with the rear bumper bouncing off the tarmac as you do.
But is the T okay?
The T in the back is still okay. The Costa lorry, however, exploded over the top of the estate car, causing immense damage to the bridge. As your lorry leaves the scene, one of the support structures on the bridge gives way, and that whole section of road collapses.
I say, what a wizard prank!
Well, they do say that too much coffee is bad for you.
Well, they shouldn't have asked for a race. That's all I'm saying. It's his own fault.
It's the cost of doing good. It's the cost of doing good driving.
Back in the darkened room, with the 3 people chained to chairs, and this bad Elizabeth I reenactor. Perhaps if you will not answer my questions on your journey here, perhaps we'll go back further to your mission briefing. Maybe you'll answer some questions on that? It was about a week ago when you had your mission briefing. It was your first day at Dashwoods. And as you turned up to the Dashwoods offices on... where did we say they were? I think we actually gave them an address, didn't we? Only I don't appear to have written it down.
Possibly.
We need
I haven't
somewhere
written
posh. I'm going to say, I don't know,
Mayfair or Park Lane or something like that.
yeah, Mayfair. Number 1, Mayfair. Now, it is a small shop. That's how it appears. Like an old delicatessen. You go in and there are various varieties of tea on shelves, and a little kiosk with a very old lady who has a very old-fashioned till. She takes one look at you and gestures to the back of the shop. At the back of the shop is a very plain, ordinary-looking interior door. You go through it and there's a little reception room with a coffee table and some out-of-date magazines. And a number of rooms off the side. You loiter there for a while, unsure what to do, when in walks... I'm just going to look this up to make sure I get the right one. Yes, in walks Walther Friendly Harrington Smythe. Is about the same age as Augustus. In fact, exactly the same. No, a couple of years older, I believe. And he's incredibly well dressed in the latest fashion. He has a pink neon suit, a pink neon tie with a blue neon trim. His hair is a pink neon and very formally styled. Ah, fantastic. The recruits, right. Yes. Now, for one reason or another, I've given you all jobs. Mostly the same reason, actually. You all know Prince King. Well,
Indeed.
He's a good friend of mine. Walther Friendly Harrington Smythe, sorry, and Jason's asked me to spell this in the chat. That is rather... I'm trying to GM, not write out entire sentences.
That's why I put it in the chat, so you could do it after you've described, sorry.
No, I will try to master this. Right, where is... Oh, right, this screen. I've got to figure out where the chat is on this program. No, go to call. I have to... Complicated. It's at the top. We could not connect your selected camera track. Oh, now my camera's died. Now no one can see me. God damn it. You see what you've done?
Speech bubble.
You know what? I'm now just a black window. God damn it. Ah. Can I just try to fix this quickly? If not, right, okay. XSplit can see the camera. I've dropped myself in on that window. You'll just have to deal with black thing speech, but there's no speech bubble on my Skype. Oh, it's in the bottom left on mine. There we go. Bum 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 bum. Right, not doing that again. That's the last thing you get spelled. Okay. Right, well, I'm sorry to tell you that I didn't feel comfortable getting you a proper job with Dashwoods. So, we've set up a little experiment. You are going to be heading up our new Dashwoods export division. You see, we've never done terribly well in America. All these coffee companies. Americans love this stuff. Wretched, foul substance. I want you to go to America and start selling Dashwoods export. It's exactly the same tea as Dashwoods, only you pay more for it. We think that this will appeal to the psyche of the American upper class.
Exactly.
Yes, in fact, this is our tagline. Exactly the same tea, only more expensive. So we've sorted you out a vehicle, and on board are 4 crates of tea. Each crate is worth a small fortune. I need to work out exactly how much. It'll be a division asset for the sheet, so 4 crates of Dashwoods. Right. You are going to turn those 4 crates of Dashwoods into supply contracts. If you lose your samples, you will replace them out of your own money. Understood?
Understood.
Understood.
Okay.
Do we have complete autonomy when cultivating contacts in...
You can do anything you damn well please within the boundary of America. If we hear about any shenanigans outside of America, you will be cancelled.
Perfectly
Well,
reasonable.
I say it's awfully decent of you.
We don't currently sell anything in America.
Oh, that is going to change.
Yes.
If
Yep.
I hear one news snippet from America, it had better be, fuck me, that's delicious tea.
Yeah, I can see that working. Yeah. Maybe sell it in the clubs.
In fact, I will place this moniker upon it. I will ensure before we return that not only will we have established great contacts, but we will actually have had one of those contacts, a major player in the beverage industry in America, to actually say the line, "Fuck me, that's delicious tea." And we can use that clipette for our advertising.
Sounds like a fucking pipe dream to me. Just get over
Yes.
there and sell the fucking tea and make sure that not a single Yank drinks it the wrong fucking way.
By the time we finish with them, they'll be begging to be a colony again.
What do you take us for, Mr. Smythe? Drinking the wrong way.
I would like to apologise if anyone is attempting to watch this live stream or the recording afterwards with small children. Please don't.
Rated PG-13.
No, I think we
13.
went. I think we went way past PG-13 about 7
yeah.
months ago.
Now, depending on how good a job you do, you may well become a proper Dashwoods agent. Until then, do not confuse yourself as working for Dashwoods. You work for Dashwoods Export.
Of
Clear.
course.
Right. Now get the fuck over there and earn some fucking money.
As you wish.
Thank
you, PPK.
Back.
Thank you, PPK.
Message received and understood.
Affirmative.
I didn't get what I am today by holding off from America.
Says the Elizabeth I reenactor. We're not getting anywhere with you, are we? Well, I wonder if you'll respond to black coffee in the intravenous. Mr. Pitch, ramp it up. Oh yes, all the way. Now, I want to know about the day you arrived in America. That's right. At the interchange from the bridge. You know what happened. Tell me. Tell me what happened. It was foggy when you were leaving the bridge, and your rear bumper was still trailing along the ground. As you approached the toll exit of the motorway bridge, you approach the security gates that you sort of fan out a bit like Dartford Crossing, and there's loads of toll gates to go through, and you prepare to hand over the money to go through, when what is clearly some kind of Western Federation agent, you know this because they're wearing a suit but it's camouflaged, and they're pointing to your lorry and signalling to go over to the side gate. What do you do? Do you go through one of the normal gates, or do you seem to take this gesturing and sort of points to you and signalling to the gate at the far end?
Okay. I just kind of lean out of the driver's seat and go, "What's the problem?"
So you're pulling up to the normal gate, one of the normal gates where this guy is, rather than the one at the end?
Yeah, although preferably I wouldn't be sort of going through this entrance. I'd be more sort of pulling up near him and just shouting obnoxiously, "What's the problem?"
G'day, sir. So, seems that we had some reports of you destroying some fine American corporation hardware and damaging our bridge. So we'd very much appreciate it if you could go to the security checkpoint on the end. We just need to do a few standard procedure checks on your vehicle, such as testing it for any illicit substances, and then we'd like to ask you some questions.
Well, you don't seem to understand, old boy. It was nothing to do with us. It was those bloody lorries. They just fell apart on the bridge.
I'll have you know, Costa Coffee is a very dangerous substance, and they were the ones drinking it all to death and practically nearly killed us.
Yeah, if you could just go to the security gate at the end, just so you are aware, I am a fully trained and equipped agent, so I can level you.
Oh, he's a fully equipped agent.
It's always nice to know.
Okay, fine, we'll do your cultural
it definitely seems that you're fully it.
Okay, so you start trying to manoeuvre, sort of driving sort of laterally across all of the toll booths, causing various traffic incidents and horns tooting and so on, until you get to the end
apologise. Do apologise. Yes. Yes. Please do refrain from tooting your horn. Yes, it's a small cultural problem.
Lord, we're in America. We don't need to be polite anymore.
No, he's certainly not being polite. Stop that.
Okay then, stop your fucking horn blowing, you fuckwits.
As you get to the security gate on the end, it's immediately apparent that there are several more Western Federation agents at this gate, along with some clearly civilians, because they're just wearing, a sort of blue shirt and tie and black trouser type thing. So there's three civilian security, as it were, and there's these two Western Federation agents. They are, of course, heavily armed, and their guns are anodized pink, as is fashionable at the current time. They signal to you to switch off the engine, and one of them goes round to the back of the vehicle. The other one starts searching the front with a mirror underneath, doing checking the lorry and such. And you hear the lock on the back of the lorry being burst open with bolt cutters.
Oh, don't do that! Don't do that!
Don't. Be very, very gentle. Be very gentle with our merchandise. It is of the highest quality.
You hear somebody shifting the boxes in the back of your van. What do you do?
I'm going to insult them by saying very loudly, I heard that the clips on these American guns they like to carry around have been voted the most pointless accessory in Western Federation magazine.
So you say that to the guy that's at the front of the vehicle, yeah?
No, I'm saying it to the other two, but very loudly so they can hear.
Oh, some of the civilian guards.
So the ones that are checking the vehicle, I'm sort of saying it loud enough so they can hear.
It's the agents that are checking the vehicle. So you've got one at the front and one is in the back. The other three civilian guards are just sort of milling around observing and stuff, you know.
I am going to do please excuse me, my friend. I'm going to get a crossfill, head out of the truck, and go to the back.
Okay. As you get around to the back door, you see that the Western Federation agent has opened up all 4 crates, seen that it's all tea, and is just carrying one to the back of the lorry as you come around the door. Excuse me, sir, if you could get back in your lorry, please. We're just doing a customs and excise check on your merchandise.
Yes, I believe you can do your customs and excise check from within the vehicle. There will be no taking of our tea outside this vehicle. We are trying to maintain its
so you've just confirmed
its
to
consistency.
Me, you've just confirmed to me that this is indeed contraband. The
no, I've confirmed
tea.
I've confirmed that it is a
coming out of the vehicle.
Beverage. And may I say, I know that your Americans have this thing about guns being phallic symbols, but really, pink? Isn't that just driving the point home just a little too much?
That is the current fashion, sir, and frankly, I think from this point you need to get back in your vehicle immediately. We'll just go through this contraband and work out what the fine is.
I just have to say that I know that many of you Americans do carry guns as a sort of compensation for a lack of firearm elsewhere, but I've never seen anyone compensate with a gun so small before.
So he puts down the crate of tea.
Are you currently single?
He puts down the crate of tea and after doing so immediately goes for his gun. He's holding a submachine gun and he points it at you. Sir, I told you twice. I'm going to ask you now one final time. Get back in the vehicle or I will open fire. So swear I will.
I'll lean out the car, the van, and I'll shout backwards. I say, old man, ask to see his credentials. I don't think they're Americans. They haven't got the hat.
Yes, I would like to see your credentials.
Okay.
More importantly, sir, you are attempting to shoot me without proper cause. In fact, one might claim that you were shooting me prematurely, which, considering the whole phallic symbol thing, isn't doing your country any favors.
Okay, so he does actually open fire on you, Ronnie.
I'm going to try and dive my ass's way.
Okay, so is opened up with a submachine gun. Interesting enough, you only make one attack on it because it is a burst. And he has indeed hit.
Okay, it's going to hurt.
Oh, it is, yes. It's for 19.
19.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's at this point I would like to do initiative because we've gone into a combat. So
initiative is...
It is roll a dice, add your reflexes, and then it's highest. I think it's reflexes.
Which dice?
A D10.
D10. And
It's 10 altogether from me.
that's a 12.
16, motherfuckers.
12.
Did you say 12, Phil?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so first to act here is Jason. Xerxes. So you hear gunfire from the back. It's a submachine gun. You don't think either of your friends have submachine guns?
No. So at that point, I don't know if you heard, but I'd already started sort of coming out of the vehicle when he was saying, "Oh, for one final time, get back in your vehicle," that kind of thing. So I'm going to, before I move around to the back, so I'll be at the side of the vehicle for the minute, I will get out a syringe and I will very quickly inject myself with a shot of neuropromine.
Okay, I don't know what that does.
No, that's what I was trying to find, like things. So basically, it's used by athletes and things like that. It's a freely available drug which enhances the response time of the user's nerves. So essentially, for one scene, it grants me +3 reflexes.
Okay, fair enough.
It's semi-illegal. But yes, so I do that.
Okay, so in future rounds, your initiative goes up to 19, which still makes you first. The guy at the front drops his mirror surveying thing and he immediately goes for his shotgun and he's just going to shoot it into the front of the vehicle. The only person in there at the moment is Phil, so he's shooting through the windscreen.
Yeah.
And that was Jason just going blue. So right, in the meantime, he does indeed hit, and apparently I need bigger dice. And he hits you for 17 damage.
17?
Yeah. Next to act is Phil. You've just been shot by a shotgun in the chest, but a lot of the shotgun bullets were sort of embedded in the windscreen that's now smashed open.
I will flick on my field shield, draw my handgun, and leave the vehicle.
Okay, so you are now, I believe your field shield is neon pink.
It is.
Yeah, excellent status
Latest
symbol.
fashion.
So whilst your field shield is up, I'm going to give you a looking good bonus, just double whatever your current skill is.
Okay.
Because that is kind of awesome. When it goes out of fashion, your looking good's going to drop to 0, you know that.
Okay.
Alright, so you get out the vehicle and you've now taken cover presumably behind that side of the vehicle.
Yes, I'm going to do what the Americans do and use the door as cover. Because obviously that works.
If only it wasn't a loon. Ronnie, you've just been submachine gunned.
Yes, I am going to return fire if I can. Because I want to. Because, well, the fucker is asking for it. So I am going to open fire with my gun, which is the Black Cougar.
Make 3 attacks.
Make my 3 attacks. And my 3 attacks are as follows. Ooh, that's a good one. Made it by 5, because I rolled 8. Made it by 7, because I rolled 6.
I only need to know if you make it or if you roll a double 1 or double 2.
Yeah, forget the third roll.
Okay. So 2 hits and 1 hits the inside of your van and puts another bullet hole in it.
Bugger. Do I roll damage?
You do indeed. So it's D8 for each hit.
For a total of 11.
Okay. So yeah, that's relatively minor wounds to him. You've hit him in the arm a couple of times and once in the Luton van. He now acts, so he's going to continue to empty his clip into you, or at least try to, and indeed succeeds. So those dice there, many. Ooh. $23.
Right. Can I use some sort of conviction point here to sort of soak up the damage or anything?
Okay, can't use conviction point to soak up the damage. But we agreed beforehand we were going to use conviction slightly differently for setting up some backstory. So what I'll allow you to do, there are ways out of this. A shield is one way out of this. So what you could do is you could use this opportunity to describe a brief scene where you thought, I'm going to America, maybe I need a shield or something.
Okay.
Yeah?
I'll do that.
An energy shield?
Because at the moment I'm looking at... Without that, I'm looking at having minus 11 hit points.
Yeah, which isn't death. It's not the end of the world for an agent. No, running out of hit points, just running out of consciousness for a little while, and even then it's not necessarily unconsciousness. Yeah, it's you're an agent, it's fine, you will recover, unless somebody severs your head, in which case you're fucked. But it does put you out for the scene. So if you want to use your conviction point, you can take the opportunity to add a little bit of personality and backstory if you want. Maybe it's a family relative that sort of suggests, Jesus, they love their guns in America, you really need to get a shield type thing, or...
Well, I think Uncle Oscar would certainly have told me, yes, get myself. I'm just going to find the shields, actually.
So, Uncle Oscar. And so he's not obviously. Sorry, I'm actually sort of drawing because I've got the family tree for how you're all connected and stuff. And let's say that he hates the damn Yanks, yeah?
Yeah.
So yeah, he's got some very sort of anti-American attitudes, and sort of he gave you this big long speech about just how dangerous America is, and it's a gun cult, old boy. For God's sake, get yourself one of those shields.
Oh, I certainly will. Yes, I think I will. Yes. So how much money did you say we had?
You started with 10k, but you will have spent some of it already. And
yeah.
What you can do with any shield is sufficient, because if a shield runs out of, basically a shield will take hit points before you do.
Yeah.
You can switch it on as a free action on your turn. So and what happens if it runs out of hit points? It still soaks the rest of the damage you took in that instant, but if the damage it takes is more than double the number of hit points on the shield is wrecked and no longer any good.
Okay.
So the cheapest shield will actually save your life here, but it would be wrecked because too many hit points for it.
I think my Uncle Oscar would have made damn sure I made a real got myself a real shield. He's one of those men, Don't get one of those paperweight bloody shields, boy. Get yourself a real shield. Sounding like Windsor Davis from 8.5 Hot Mum. Get yourself a real shield, lovely boy. So I'm going to have myself a battle shield.
Okay.
all 5,000 credits of it, which can take 50 hit points.
And of course, the latest fashion is bright pink.
That's fine. That's fine. I'll fit right in there. I will look tall and pink and magnificent.
Okay, so yeah, your shield takes the damage. So what you do on your hit point, you've got a shield section just here. So your total is 50. Obviously, your current value is whatever it's taken. And if at any point you take double the current hit points left on the shield blows up, like is wrecked. Waste of money type thing. Okay. Now, so you survived that. Where's my initiative order gone? Right, the civvies, the 3 civilian guards, the gun fight starts, they are running for cover. They're getting out of there and just leaving this to the agents. So, back to Jason.
Yes.
I say, old boy, could you perhaps put a quick cap in this machine gunner's arse, please?
They're heavily armoured, aren't they?
No, they've just got their camo suits.
Oh, I thought you said that one of them was heavily armoured.
Heavily armed.
Oh, just armed. Okay, I got mixed up. My bad. Okay. In that case, I will get out both my black cougars and do a sort of a Lara Croft, Mr. Smith style. Just.
Mm-hmm. And is that the guy in the truck in the back?
Yes.
Okay.
This is just to say that this is what is referred to as a John Woo moment.
Oh yes.
Question: do you have the training for dual weapon stuff?
I believe I did take it. Yes. Yes, dual weapon fighting.
Okay. In that case, make your 6 attack rolls.
Whoop whoop. Yeah, they both hit. So both hit, they all hit.
Okay, so that's 68 damage to the guy.
Fantastic. And sorry, that was picking up in your mic. I won't use the tower.
No, it's fine.
Yeah. So essentially, after putting the syringe in my bicep, I then chuck it away, get my guns out, come round the corner, and just go.
Okay, so 68 damage.
Yeah.
That's dice, not 60. 6D.
Oh, 6d8. Oh,
Yes.
right. Sorry. I thought you meant 68. I'm thinking, oh, right, okay. You're just taking like the average.
I'm okay. I'm okay with the 68 damage.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, problem is I've made d8s, but
You could just do averaging on damage if you want, but it does make it a bit predictable.
Oh, because 68 is a hell of a lot more than we could actually.
Well, you're not getting 68. You'd get about 20.
Okay, so 27.
27. Okay. Okay, so you just blow this guy to hell, but you know that crate he just put down that he was stood next to? He lands into that crate and he's bleeding profusely.
Okay. I immediately pull him out.
Hang on, because it's currently the go of the Yank at the front. And he's got the shotgun and is shooting it through the door at Phil. And he hits the door, the window shatters, but the shot does not get through.
It's the Luton door, what do you expect?
So Phil, it's your go.
Okay. So yeah, I do have 2 handguns, but I didn't take the 2-handed weapon fighting. If I used to, what would that do to me?
-4 on all the rolls.
On all the rolls?
Mm.
Okay, I'm just going to use one gun then. Yes, I'm going to shoot back at him from behind the door.
Yep, go for it.
Okay, that's 1. That's 2. And all 3 hit.
Okay, 3d8.
That is 19.
19. Okay, he is hit pretty damn hard, and he hits the ground at first, and then sort of gets up onto his knees, and he's starting to run for like a big concrete block by the side of the toll booth. So he's sort of heading to dive behind it. As he does so, you can see he's obviously got an intravenous med pack that he's just hit, because his veins sort of just pump with the familiar blue colour of a med pack hitting his bloodstream. Ronnie, this guy has died in front of you under a shower of very precisely placed dual handgun wielding psychopath interior designer.
I stand up. I put down the shield. I simply do up the tie and say, "Wonderful shooting, sir. Impeccable timing."
Just so you know, that's a battle shield. So that's an energy shield that just appears around you.
Ah.
So it'll be like a little belt attachment or something like that, or a belt buckle or something, and so you just become a pink person. So a pink hue to every aspect of you.
That was some fine shooting there, sir. Absolutely. I am in awe of you. I go into the back of the truck just to make sure that our merchandise is still safe.
The crate that the Yank died into, the tea in that crate is spoiled.
How fuck-a-doodle-do.
Right. Wait. Hold on. Remember, we're dealing with Americans here. We can still sell this.
But now we need to pay for that.
No. Only if we can't sell it. We're dealing with Americans. We can sell it. If we split this crate in amongst the other crates, so we still have 4 crates full of stuff, but we hide the spoiled bags in amongst them, we can still sell. We won't know the difference.
Or we could sell it as a slightly different flavour.
Yes, musk flavour.
Say, added vitamins, nutrients, protein.
And while this conversation is going off at the back of the lorry, at the front it's gunfire. Phil, you get a shot on this guy as he's getting into cover.
Okay.
So 3 shots technically. So.
In fact, you could call it bloody good tea.
Bloody good tea.
Okay. First one's a miss. Second one's a hit. And the third one's a hit.
Okay, so roll 2d8 damage on him. Now, the third bullet, of course, lands somewhere. In this case, it lands square in the temple of a innocent bystander called George, who's worked at that security gate for 20 years and was just about to retire. So how much damage was that?
That was 13.
Okay, so the Western Fed agent, you've hit him pretty hard as he's gone down. One of the bullets has probably gone into his lung, you think, and he rolls down behind this concrete bollard. And the next thing you know is the sound of something metal bouncing on the floor next to you. You obviously missed a grenade being thrown, and there's a huge explosion. doing... Just bear with me, I'm getting more dice. At 29 damage.
Oh, that's my shield knacked as well. Right, okay.
So your shield's gone, your shield takes it, and presumably is absolutely broken.
Yes.
Okay. The lorry also has taken considerable damage from this. In fact, the door that you were taking cover behind is never going to shut again. It's a different shape to the hole it came out of. You've also got a bit of a puncture on the front left wheel. Meanwhile, at the back of the van...
It can be done. We can do this.
I'll show
It
that.
is.
Yeah, Americans are stupid anyway. It should be fine. You're right.
Exactly.
Fine.
I think they've damaged the truck.
You what?
I think they've damaged the truck.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Bloody Americans.
Okay. I think first of all we are going to have to possibly arrange alternate transport.
Yeah, something a bit nicer.
Something more in keeping with our product line. Something a bit more upmarket.
If we have a quick scour around the area, can we see anything? And what vehicles are available to us?
Vehicles are going into the toll booths, being quite quickly processed and then driving on. There's all sorts of different vehicles doing that, but bearing in mind, you don't have any license that would make what you're planning here legal.
Yeah, I just had domestic.
We're beyond that already.
No.
Oh. Well, I don't think we can hang around and change a tyre, can we?
No. No, we have to get these moving. So?
You know, there's still an American at the front behind a concrete bollard, so whilst you're doing that, he's just reloaded his shotgun.
Oh yeah, okay. I get out my own shotgun and start walking up to him.
Just boldly walking out.
Yeah.
Okay. He stands up to take a shot,
How far is he away?
and Jason is first on initiative.
Yeah.
Close enough for a shotgun, so...
Okay, so I've got this AMS Kebos shotgun. So essentially I can do like sort of machine burst, which does, it auto consumes the clip. It gives me 1d6 extra per shot, and also does kickback,
Okay.
apparently. So I might just do that, just to suppress him.
Let's have those dice.
Oh, I pass equally.
Yeah. Still a pass, so do the damage.
Okay. So, oh, how close am I to him?
Quite close. Because you walked up
So-
to him, and you know, you're only the distance of a lorry away to begin with. It's not a big lorry
Okay.
at that.
No. Okay, fantastic. Great in terms of damage rolls. For a 12 damage.
Okay, that he spread eagles back. His gun goes flying, and as it does so, his gun discharges and shoots a man called Howard Jr., who's worked there for 6 years, in the back. And you know, he goes down and dies moments later. But you know, at least he didn't kill him himself. Anyway, the you notice that inside the ruffle of his pocket is the familiar packet shape of some compound H. This is the stuff you use to glue limbs back on. So the question is, do you take that before you leave?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Make a note of that as either in your equipment or as a division asset.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
A few moments later, the lorry drives out of the security gate with one punctured wheel, a door banging open as it rattles around.
Yeah. We're inside doing this sort of thing. We're just going.
Yeah.
As we're driving off.
And the rear bumper hanging off, and bullet holes and a smashed windscreen. In fact, I imagine just to see you push the front windscreen out and it smashes on the floor beside the lorry as you drive off.
Looking like some slightly overblown version of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Yeah, a big black cloud comes out the back as you change gear. And you drive off from the security.
It's all go here, isn't it?
Meanwhile, in a dark lit
Life in the fast lane, I believe they say.
A very bad reenactment of Elizabeth I is interrogating three figures chained to a chair. I'm going to get you to talk, you know. I'm not amused by this resistance. I will make you talk. I have ways. The special formula in my strongest strain of caffeine. And with that, we'll take a short break.
Okay.
She's to tell that Elizabeth I seems intent on taking the piss. Which, if we start really boning up on caffeine, we're going to be sitting tied to those chairs, crossing our legs.
Yeah, it's somewhat of a diuretic, isn't it? Right.
Well, look at the damage we've done without any caffeine. I mean,
now, to be fair, it was the caffeine that destroyed the bridge.
that's true.
We were merely a factor, and I'm all on my own now.
Oh my god, I'm such a numpty.
Are you?
Yes. Well, no, I'm just thinking because you know how I bought the clothes to Snap and Debenhams?
Right.
I forgot that my voucher which I've got on display to remind me to use it. You can use it with Debenhams.
Oh dear.
So I'm trying to work out what other thing I would need.
So, for all the people watching at home,
Enjoying it. Awesome idea with the, coming in and out, slowly revealing. Oh, why am I still hungry? This is not great.
for all the people still watching at home, I hope you take this for the farce that it is. We're enjoying playing with stereotypes from both sides of the channel. The Atlantic. We're taking the mickey of Americans, yes, but we're doing a bit with taking the mickey out of posh Brits as well. So we've had violence, brutality, and as you can hear, a singing accompaniment. And probably not. So this is the halftime show. If I were actually going to do something like sing and dance, I think we would lose whatever viewers we're going to get. Because quite frankly, you know, there's enough horror and hate in this world without me singing.
See what scene?
I'm entertaining the folks at home while you were off.
I know.
I'm doing the halftime show here. Just explaining to them that usually the halftime show is usually somebody singing and dancing, but quite frankly, there's enough horror in the world without me starting. I cannot sing.
That was all right.
Yes, that's as far as my voice goes. So we were very intense session of Castle Falkenstein on Sunday there. That was quite fun.
Cute.
Oh, they're enjoying themselves.
I am back.
Oh.
Well, hey! Welcome back, folks, to the second half of How Many People Can We Piss Off in One Session?
So, this Elizabeth I-esque character says, tell me, your landlord, when you set up offices, how did you meet this character? And your mind drifts back to the day when you arrived in Boston and you knew you'd need to set up a little base of operations to work from because clearly this van wasn't suitable. Besides, there's nowhere to sleep. What did you do to find good offices?
Good question.
Let's find a good upmarket estate agent.
Check the papers, see if there's any ads for space to rent.
Okay. So you go through the local to-lets, and there's no business stuff in there, so you end up at an estate agent's. In the desk of this particular estate agent is a guy that's dressed an over-the-top cowboy with the huge rimmed hat, the stereotypical of a rancher type thing. Quite nicely dressed. He's got that little bow thing, string bow thing, and stuff. Lots of glitter studs on his boots and things, and little spurs. Howdy there. So you're looking for a place to rent?
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Short-term let, at least initially.
He's sort of sat behind his desk with his feet up on the desk, crossed and over, and he says, "So, you're looking for business or pleasure or?"
Well, primarily business, but all business should be pleasurable to some degree, of course.
Right, and is this business gonna be also a lodging?
Yes, for now.
Yes.
Okay, I got some places. Tell me, what kind of clientele are you looking for?
Only the best.
And,
The absolute best.
and
exactly
what is your definition of the best?
No scum.
The very pinnacle of society.
Well, there's only one shop for you. Top of the
I
spire.
thought. So you wishes to go on top of the world, looking down on creation.
Top of the spire is top of the range.
Hmm.
It's also top of the pocket, if you know what I mean.
And when you are discussing the rent, exactly how much are we talking about here?
If you've got to ask how much, you probably can't afford that particular place. So,
that may or may not be true. However, I'm a frugal and prudent man. I do like to know what I'm signing on the dotted line for. How much?
it's not a question of price. You gotta see it to believe it.
Well, we can sort of have a
Fine. Well, we're not doing anything now.
Say, is that your lorry parked out front? Dashwoods?
Dashwoods.
Well, the apostrophe is not a D now, is it?
We had a bit of a problem.
We had
Problem in the pocket by the looks of it. Now, I may have something that's more down your alley, so to speak.
no, let's try the Spire first.
Shall we just not waste each other's time and go straight for the place you can afford?
Trust me, I think we can come to an arrangement about the Spire.
And trust me, if that's your mode of transport, there ain't no way you're gonna get in that spire.
Well, let's just keep the Spire on the back burner for the moment. Let's see this alternate place of business you have in mind. But I'm not giving up on the Spire just yet. No, my laddie, no.
I've got
How much is
just
how much
the
is
place.
this other place? How much is this other place?
If you need to ask, you definitely can afford it. You definitely can. So, it's a lovely little place. It's looking over the harbor. Beautiful, beautiful place. Lots of potential. I'll take you there right now. Mandy, look after the shop. And
Yes.
he heads up front. He goes, should we take my car?
That sounds like an excellent
Sure.
idea.
Did you want to secure your door there? It's kind of open.
It's fine. It's fine. Actually, guys, what are we going to do about the crates? Because I'm not comfortable with actually leaving the merchandise.
We could leave it in the office.
We could, yeah, put them behind the back. What's the name can look after them.
I say, old chap, would you mind looking after a couple of boxes for us?
Couple of boxes, huh?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I say boxes, I mean more crates. And I mean...
And when we
like-
say a couple, we mean
and
a
we
couple
work
of couple.
for-
It's nothing important. It's nothing important. It's just our luggage.
Right. So, alright. You know what? Why don't you follow me around in your vehicle, if that's what that is, and then your crates are with you.
Those vehicles have a long, proud history in our country.
I'm not sure what part of Africa you're from. But
Okay, as we get as we get in the cab, I turn to my two associates and I say, right, whatever deal he's offering here, if this place looks anything less than pristine, I'm going to demand that he either takes us to this spire, in which case we will make him an offer he can't refuse,
Mm-hmm.
or he's going to find out exactly He's going to be able to count the floors on the way down. Or I'll make him think he's going to count the floors on the way down. He'll be dead long before he gets out of dead long before he hits the ground. Or if it is a pristine and decent place that he's taking us to, I'm going to see about getting it at a, shall we say, a sweetheart rate? Better profits for us.
That sounds like a good idea.
He gets into his car and it's over the top, oversized, large blingy wheels limo in essence. Except he's driving it. On the front it's got some bull horn things.
I was going to say, has it got the bull horns on the front?
Yeah, absolutely. It's absolutely over the top, ridiculous. It's blinged in glitter. He turns the engine on, and you just know that there's a country. That is a bad mic sound from someone. We're looking at you, Phil. Yeah, it's definitely you, Phil.
Yeah, definitely you.
I can hear it.
Oh. You suddenly went very quiet.
Yeah, that's
Me, because I just unplugged the mic.
Oh. Can we try Ronnie?
I'm here.
Yeah, can you just try unplugging your mic momentarily? We'll go around everyone and see who solves it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. We're so sorry, Phil. Always forget me.
Was it? It seems okay now.
Yeah, it's okay
Oh,
for
yeah,
me.
because it'll be unplugged.
Sorry?
Am I back?
The what, babe?
No, never mind. You are back, yes.
Okay.
Was it me causing the problem?
I think it was, because when you went to go down and pull it, it did suddenly get much louder. So that's quite possible.
It's okay now.
Because I'm here.
So anyway, so he leads you round into this lovely marina type setup on the edge of the harbour. Lots of private yachts out front. Definitely some money in this area. The shops are amazing, over the top fashion places. Loads of pink in at the moment, obviously. Nice cars, nice neighbourhoods. The road is wide with not many lanes, and then there's a wide pavement and there's shopping boulevards, and he takes you past this lovely looking area, turns off the harbour front to a little side street and pulls up.
I'll take you just parking here.
Now the
Don't
sides. Sorry,
We're going back that way.
you're going back what way?
That way, back there to the harbour. That's where we're going, isn't it?
Yeah. Now, the door he takes you to is just off. So basically, you turn off, and sort of immediately on the turn off is this door. It's a green painted wood effect door. And it, like, the paint's chipping off it, but it's deliberately manufactured that way because it's made of plastic. The front of the shop comes sort of out like an old antiquated antique shop type front. Again, it's this plastic wood effect with the paint chipping off type effect on it. And he gets out a big key ring and sort of goes through three of the keys. Aha! This be the one. Unlocks it. And it's an old-fashioned style lock, and he opens the door, and you've got oak wooden floors and a kind of a really sort of dark interior. It's got a very old-looking wallpaper on the walls, like it was fashionable 100 years ago, and takes you in, and it's empty in here in the shop front, so whatever business was here is completely cleared out. There's a couple of bills on the floor type thing, and it basically, it was built to look run down, and old-fashioned, but it's built out of plastics, and so it's built that way. There's a little counter and stuff. You see, a place like this got tons of potential. You're right on the harbour front. Fantastic opportunity for entrepreneurs like yourself looking for the best kind of customers. Let me show you the lodgings. You're gonna love it. And he takes you out back to the lodging area, and basically it's very small, a little bit cramped. There's 3 rooms, but one of them's also the kitchen, little sort of kitchen diner area, with a little sofa, tatty old sofa on the side. The other 2 rooms look a bit small and Spartan, but hey, they're rooms. What you got here is a little taste of the old world.
Yes, that's certainly one way of describing it.
Now, a place like this, I can do you this for just a couple of $1,000 a week, and the best part is you don't even pay the first week's rent. Gives you a chance to set your business up and get it off the ground.
See, I like
a little too generous there.
Yes. Do you understand the concept of full disclosure?
Well, there is a $5,000 deposit. I gotta be honest with you. Security deposit in case of damage.
That's one bit of full disclosure that is very, very nice to have, and I'm very glad that you were so kind as to tell us. But let us be bold with each other. If people are not taking up this wonderful opportunity, why not?
Well,
are there structural or neighbourhood problems associated with this property?
No. What you got here is a fine piece of artificial brickwork.
Yeah.
Oh, what happened to the last business that was in here?
Went into arrears, had to kill him.
Yeah. Becky. I'm observing his body language and so on. I'm trying to detect if he's being totally honest with us regarding the structural integrity of that.
Yeah, I mean, the building adjoins the shops on the front. It's all part of a big complex. So there's no reason to believe that the building itself is in some way unsafe. It's not on the main front for the harbour. You're just off it. But there are ways around that. And it's certainly got a peculiar interior, but that could be changed.
Yes. Tell me something, sir. Do you happen to know of any fine furniture salesman in the area? The kind that can really bring out the best in a wonderful establishment such as this.
Well, this is a heart of shopping on the harbour front here. It's either here or at the Spire. and all the best shops are in this area.
Yes. I must admit, I am intrigued by this area. There's a certain old charm about it. It is rather wonderful. I was wondering, and I sort of put my arm around his shoulder at this point, I was wondering if we could perhaps come to some arrangement regarding the rent.
I told you what the rent cost.
Yes, I was thinking more of a more prolonged bedding in period. I mean, your 1 week period, whilst extremely generous, is really rather tailored towards people who actually know the area very well. We're new here. We're going to need a few more weeks to properly set up our business and array of contacts. I would say a month would be far more generous of you. Absolutely wonderfully generous of you. I'm so glad you agree.
I
start
do
shaking
not
his hand.
agree, sir. In fact, you insult me, and if you keep down this line, I will put the price up.
Okay, well, we've obviously got off on the wrong foot here. Why don't we give you a bit of a gift, you know, to show that we are genuine people. I know we're not from around here, but why don't you take a little bit of the tea that we have? We could even maybe have some kind of cross-collaboration advertising, so we advertise your realtors.
I've been to Europe, I've drunk tea, I am a coffee man, sir.
Well, this is
but is this not just the usual builder's tea?
I'm not taking no drugs from you. No, nuh-uh.
Drug?
Drugs, sir? Drugs, sir?
Look, what you do with your business, I don't mind as long as the rent comes in. You're gonna take it, that's a 5,000 deposit. I'll be round in 2 weeks, or my assistant Mandy will take the next 2 grand off you, and so on. That's how we do business.
I sort of look wide-eyed at Lord, so to say, wow, he's really not gonna budge.
If I'm standing at the window, if I'm looking out, is what sort of the passers-by? Are they dressed well, or is anyone coming down the street at all?
It's definitely a wealthy area.
And there's people are using this street as well, are they?
Oh yeah. I mean, just at the moment you look out the window, there's a woman walking past with a coat that looks like a poodle, walking 3 poodles, all of which have pink nails.
I'm sensing a theme.
I'll beckon over my 2 colleagues to the window, and I'll say, well, I mean, watching, there do seem to be the right sort of people walking past the shop, you know. And if it doesn't turn out to be so good, perhaps we can always get a refund from him later.
I have this feeling certainly that the deposit is not really a deposit at all, more like a non-refundable administration fee.
It's a bloody payoff is what it is.
Well, he doesn't know what he's missing with the tea, certainly.
Actually, Becky, I go to the door again and pick up those 2 letters. I open them both to have a look at the dates. I want to know how long they've been bloody sitting there.
One is a bill from a funeral director that's been sent to the wrong address, apparently addressed to the husband of the previous occupant, as far as you can tell. And that has been there just over a week. The other one is a flyer for a new coffee shop opening on the harbour front.
Well, at least it hasn't been dormant for years.
No.
The coffee shop, incidentally, is a Costa coffee.
I think I sort of beckon over to my two colleagues again as I sort of show them the flyer and say, I think it's absolutely vital, not only that we stay here, that we take these flyers and perform immediate colonoscopies with them, with the staff of this new coffee shop.
Precisely. We need to give it a makeover.
Yes. Well, I think it might be worth a go here. From what I understand, it's a reasonably traditional area for tea.
And you shake on it, and you need to make a note that 5,000 credits has come out of your combined assets.
Okay. One final thing, sir. Just in case we need to look at renovations and expansions to our business. Do you happen to know of a good place where we can find a bulldozer?
I'm going to leave that hanging there. Okay.
I just thought, you know.
My last question is, how much do you spend doing the interior decoration of this place, and what's the final style like?
What we're going to go for pseudo Victorian?
It's going to have to be English sort of.
Yeah, but it does need to have the appeal of America as well.
But they
how are you taking the 5? Because it's the 5Ks coming out of your pockets, so.
Which will be to cover the 5K, but you'll have to buy the shop interior stuff.
Yeah, we're going to have to perhaps cultivate some. I think we might have to cultivate some contacts on the run here. Do a bit of door-to-door selling, and cultivate a couple of contacts, and use the money we generate from that to help set up the shop.
Well, I did have one suggestion, but I fear it might go against the code of the tea drinking. However, there is a Costa right across the road, and they'll be taking, or opening. It's going to be opening. Now, obviously, the majority of what they sell is coffee, but if we could integrate our tea in there, then people will drink it, people will want more, we will get the revenue for it. Work under their nose type thing.
Actually, I have an alternative, similar, but alternative plan.
Go on.
I will go with you about 80% of the way, but here's what we do. We negotiate a good deal, get the money, get the revenue for our tea. We give them the blood-soaked batch.
Oh, absolutely.
Which will either sell very well, as you say, and they come for more, or we'll give them bad business, bad press, and we may actually find ourselves not having to deal with a Costa Coffee across the road.
Indeed.
It's a win-win.
But if they sell it as our tea, wouldn't that reflect on ours?
Yes, which is where my sort of second part of the idea comes in. Hence why it might break tradition a little bit, but then it is bad tea, so maybe this it will work. But we could always pass it off as Costa coffee. Surely they won't know the difference. They just have their 5 or 6 cups of Joe.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I think we should appeal to the more upper class of Boston and market it in such. Why would you want to drink with the rest of the scum? Come here and get the best.
Okay, so more encourage the rich and possibly tamper with the poor.
Oh yes, I mean every night fill their locks full of super glue so they can't open the shop anymore.
True, because
I go with the aforementioned bulldozer.
Yes, but that's a good point actually. Because Costa is a chain, which means that everywhere it is consistent. If word goes out that there is some funny tea or Costa coffee that tastes like tea, then word's going to get out that something is fishy. Yes. Maybe that's a better idea then. If we can tamper with the Costa's revenue, but get our own revenue back with somewhere nicer.
In fact, I have an excellent idea.
Mm-hmm.
We shall break into Costa Coffee tonight.
You read my mind.
Because what we're going to do first is go and drink lots and lots of beverage. And then we will relieve ourselves in their coffee machines.
I see where you're coming from here.
It will be an interesting new flavour of coffee.
Well, that's an interesting out-of-the-box method for tampering. I was thinking something more a bit generic, but no, I quite like it. We just need to make sure that the CCTV is taken care of.
I'm sure we can do something about that.
And
maybe plant something on.
Taking the piss out of Costa Coffee, or putting the piss in.
Elizabeth I addresses the 3 chained individuals as they are pumped full of high-strength caffeine. My franchise that you hit the night before it opened. Tell me about that. What happened on that night? I want to understand. You will speak to me, won't you? Come on. Let the serum take its effect. I want you to feel the coffee in your veins. Talk, damn it! Talk! And it was the night before Costa opened. It had
and all through the house.
Shop front, about 3 doors down from your shop. It's pristine and clean glass frontage overlooking the harbour. Its brand new gleaming Costa Coffee sign. And its brand new machineries put in. And behind all the machineries for making the coffee, you can see the gigantic cups for the mega-sized bucket of coffee that they serve for the, supersizing is a thing of the past. It's gone beyond that now. It's mega size, and just rows and rows of these gigantic cups, and then underneath a sort of normal size, which is really the supersized stuff, and then there's the smalls, which are large by your standards, and there's not a single, not even the remotest hint of a grinder in sight. It's the coffee comes in directly piped into the premises through and then they dispense it into these gigantic
I was going to say,
cups.
If we can access a vat of some kind or somewhere where there is an opening where we can take a few dumps, then that's all good.
Yeah, given that we given that they do mega size cups, and we, with all the best will in the world, are probably only going to fill a couple of megabucks worth of product. I say we buy some beverage, some strong alcoholic beverage, and shove that in as well.
Okay.
So the moment you're stood outside this franchise in the dead of the night, what is it you do?
Looking like we've just went to Odd Bins.
Yeah, so presumably we would have got, like, I don't know, some cheap spirit beforehand.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I vote as the EAT, aka the person in charge of interior design. We look for either an entrance or a means of getting to a vat, a large pipe, somewhere where it comes through into the premises.
So to investigate that, you probably want to get inside. And the door to this place, certainly from the front of the building, is a glass door. It has a lock. It's a mechanical lock.
Okay.
Hello? Anyone in?
There is no response.
Lord, there's nobody there. You don't have to do your drunk act. Just stop being so loud.
Okay.
Right, anybody here good at locks?
The
No, actually.
Mechtronics.
Yeah, intelligence plus mechatronics to pick a lock.
Nope.
Unless there's a lock.
Absolutely nothing.
Lots of skill overlap in the party then. So, which one of you
You never
shooting the
did,
window
never did
out?
that at Eton, dearie.
You what?
I
Which
mean,
one
I've got a decent intelligence. I mean, I might be able to, you know.
Is your character inebriated, or was that an act?
He's slightly inebriated because he's went fully with he's going to drink lots of beverage prior to entering the premises.
Yeah, has not done lock picking before. I'm going to put a big minus on that. So, which one of you shooting the glass out?
Can we shoot the lock?
You can try.
I've got a feeling.
Perhaps there's a back way in.
Is there a back? Yeah.
Okay, you're going to have to spend a little while investigating the local streets.
Yeah.
So what we will do is we'll have a street culture plus perception.
Oh,
Struth. Okay.
not me.
So if you nothing in street culture.
So have you all bought identical skills?
It seems like it.
No, we haven't.
No, we've just
It's
we've
perception plus street culture. You might find a back way in.
Yeah, not on this. Not
we
by
just
me.
in the
No.
street, we find an alley and then turn down it.
Okay, in that case, I will go and attempt to shoot the lock on the front door.
Okay.
As at least I'm good at doing that. Oh yeah, excess of 10.
Okay, you actually shoot straight through the barrel of the lock.
Oh,
I told you I'm good at handguns.
standing.
And the door it doesn't even barely move. It just kind of rattles a little bit, and then you just push it open.
See, the delineation of labour was there was going to be at least one combat, and one person who was going to be good with psychology. You know, but obviously there's been a bit of there hasn't been a lot of. I think we all took skills directly for our character rather than skills to fill gaps.
It's fine.
Yeah, definitely.
You enter the shop. It is at the front. There's a few tables and chairs that are just weird, stylized, like some architect has had an orgasm and whatever they produced was what they've gone with. And
Painful design.
Then behind,
Ghastly.
of course, you've got all this machinery and the big oversized cups, and of course the coffee tap.
Augustus is going to be quite taken with the cups. Actually, look at the size of these cups. We should go for really small ones.
You follow the pipe down, and it goes into the floor. So the question is, what do you do to determine where the pipe goes?
Find a basement.
Yeah, find a basement. See if there's a door leading down. See if there's a trap door in the floor.
You find that there is an outback to this place. A little staff room there. There's a rotor up on the wall. There's loads of training materials out because obviously all the staff that are going to be working here are brand new.
I'll just change some of the things on the rotor as well. Just change them around.
And you do indeed find an entrance to a cellar. It's not a trapdoor, it's just a door you walk in and some stairs down. You get down there and there's a big industrial pump, and well, it could be that pipe, you think. It's a big industrial pump that connects to a large intake thing that goes into the machine and out again.
Ooh.
Fantastic.
Okay, let's.
Is there any, will the cover come off the pump or anything? Can we?
Yeah, you can try dismantling it. It'll be mechatronics, though. Intelligence plus mechatronics.
Again, we're not going to substitute. We're far too posh for mechatronics. I am instead going to sort of go around the room, have a look for any kind of keycard console, something that could potentially change the flow of the pipes and things like that. Yeah,
there is indeed a computer interface for this pump.
Fantastic.
Okay, let's have an intelligence plus computers and AI test then.
1 point better than none.
I've got more than that.
Okay.
And which one of you is going to attempt it then?
I will attempt it.
I've got a total of 8, so.
Okay.
I got a total of 9, so I made it by 2.
13.
13. So Phil's going to attempt it then. Are you? You're the computer guy?
Well, no. Jason says he was going to do it, so if you think you want to have a go, I can always look over your shoulder and point at your mistakes later.
Didn't you just roll there, Ronnie?
I did.
Oh, right, okay. And did you pass?
Yes, I passed by 2.
Okay, so what happens is you bring up a schematic on the computer, and it shows that there are 25 connected Costa coffees, all on this big mains coffee pump, and they're all fed from a distribution centre. And what there is on each of the Costa coffees, there is a pump that extracts a small amount to serve the local store, and it all comes from this distribution centre, and it's all in a big series.
Okay. I'm almost tempted to try and mess about with the rate of flow, so that people come for their coffee and they can't fucking get any. Because it's the coffee's going too slow.
What you do notice though is that this particular store was built on a spur and then returns to the main line. So it was inserted between 2 existing stores, so presumably if you messed this pump up, they could just revert back for the rest of the network and just cut this store off.
Also, don't forget, Lord, that if we're going to be defecating in the coffee, then we want them to have their coffee.
I know. I'm
focus. I'm just trying to
find a way to But
Well, there must be.
where would be the best egress for us to deposit our deposits?
Well, if we want to get the pump apart, we should have got some sort of mechanic Johnny with us. But I don't think we can take it apart.
Is there no method of opening it automatically on this console?
There's nothing that's
I'll have a look.
automatic.
But is there a system for it?
No. If you want to get something into these pipes, you're going to have to physically disassemble them.
Over that, we find the distribution warehouse and break into that.
And you said there's no grinders whatsoever?
No. This place does not deal in the beans.
No. What about... Am I right that when it sort of comes down the pipes, it's already sort of watered? So there's not like a separate water vat or anything like that?
It's the only in the whole thing.
It must come in cold then, and they must heat it.
Presumably the machine at the top does that.
Break that.
You could always break it, shoot it.
Well, if it heats the pipes, then surely if we mess around with it a little bit...
Yeah. Let's give them cold coffee.
So you head back up to the shop floor.
Yep.
Okay. So as you head back up, they do just have the one coffee machine here. A quick play shows that it does actually fill the cups up very quickly, and it heats the coffee as it goes in, and it is of course about 3 times too hot for the mouth to even taste anything. But that's how hot they serve it.
Question. What about the milk? Or the cream, even, because it's the US, they do cream.
Yes, there is a fridge with cream. It's little tiny sachets, despite the size of the cups.
I knew it wasn't going to be real milk.
Is there an oven, even a microwave or some sort of grill or something?
I suppose they do try to serve a form of food, don't they, in these costumes?
Yeah.
Yeah,
they do like pastries and stuff.
There is basically it's a machine that takes pureed sugar and turns it into a cake.
Okay. What I'm thinking is, if we heat the cream, it'll go off.
I'm not sure if there's any actual dairy in this milk for it to go off.
They don't take it with a lot of cream in the States anyway, do they?
No, they like their coffee black.
The Americanos.
They like their coffee strong and black like they're men. That's a line from Airplane. And where I get letters.
So,
can we just take all our cups?
Urinate over their pastries?
Cause a flood. There's still defecating involved with that.
The wet bandits strike again!
The coffee pump machine does indeed flow at an alarmingly fast rate. It fills the cups up very quickly.
Well then, let's set that to override if we can, and then as soon as they turn it on, it won't stop.
If we can find an elastic band, can we just turn it on and just leave it running?
Okay, so to tamper
gonna
with
say,
the
we
machine
could-
to do that so that it starts once they switch it on, that will be a
Yeah.
mechatronics roll, because you're going to have to disassociate the nozzle. To just switch it on yourself and use an elastic band to keep the nozzle down, well, that's just something you can do. But that would flood it now, as
Love
opposed to in the
place.
morning.
Let's
Yeah.
flood it now. Let them come wading into it.
Okay. Okay.
So that's what you do, yeah?
You use a good old elastic band.
So the Costa doesn't open that day.
In fact, we can do something other than elastic bands. We've got something far stronger than an elastic band. To
Oh,
do.
the glue.
The glue.
All right, we
Let's
use the
glue.
glue then.
Let's glue the nozzle.
Okay, so you glue the nozzle open. The Costa does not open that day. They had entertainers and press and stuff, and the Costa doesn't open at all. Back in the dank wood-panelled office with Elizabeth I, reenactor. You know, we had to send an agent in to dive into the basement to dismantle the pump. We had to reroute supply for 24 other stores.
Shit happens. Yes, hopefully you did have Mentoronics.
Of course, from that point on, we had the big security gun at night, the automatic machine that would fire at anything that entered the foyer. So that's why you hit the distribution centre, wasn't it? There's no point resisting. I will get the truth from you. I will get it out of you. And with that, let's, I think, end the session for the night. I hope you've enjoyed it.
Yes. Very good.
That
Very
was-
entertaining. Very funny.
I'm going to kill the stream in a moment, but first, if anybody ever watches this far, if there's any final words any of you want to say, we'll obviously continue on our next session, hopefully next week. So, but if anyone wants final words?
Yes, remember folks, this was a farce. It is a comedy. It's us having fun. But, you know, considering the idiot you've got in the White House, this is probably not the biggest farce going.
I just certainly hope that James Norbury is watching.
We can always link him to the stream.
Yeah.
For everybody, and anybody watching this far, tweet James Norbury. Let him know. Let's make sure he's an avid viewer each week. So if you watch this far, tweet to James. What's his Twitter handle? We'll find out his Twitter handle for next week. We'll do a thing. Anybody who discovers the stream, tweet James Norbury. So then, like 4 years down the road, he'll still be getting tweets about this game. we need to.
It's just at Corporation RPG.
To do the chat thing so it comes up at Corporation. Go tweet James Norbury, let him know about this stream. Alright, so thank you for watching if you did get this far, and we'll see you next week. I know, sorry Phil, did you want to have anything to say before we go?
No, that's fine.
Okay,
Thank you very much for watching.
bye bye.